What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Appreciate you as always coming back once again. So this is going to be part 2 of our Halespeed ARP bolt swap. This one we're going to be focusing mainly on our rocker boxes, our cam chest cover. It's really windy here right now. And then our derby cover on the other side is going to be getting a swap of ARPs as well. As always, Halespeed putting in some super sick slaps. I really like this one. It says, snitches are a dying breed. That's definitely going on the toolbox. I like that. Shout out, Halespeed. Appreciate it, buddy. So, if you guys aren't utilizing the comment section to bash a company or an individual, what are you doing with your life? Why aren't you utilizing the comment section, like some of the people have been, to come in there and bash somebody with their own personal beef on someone? Using my channel that is a unbiased, neutral zone, using the comment section to blast their unsolicited opinion about a manufacturer or a person. If you're not doing that, what are you doing with your life? Joking, obviously. Please don't use my comment section to air out your beef with somebody else. That's not the time or place. This is a place for people to come gather information from an unbiased source. And if you're planning on thinking you're gonna drag me into the middle of whatever beef you have going on with whoever it is, I don't care who it is. Don't drag me into the middle. Please don't use my channel to support your issues. It's not the place for it. If you wanna go and cry about something, or if you have a problem with somebody or with a company that I'm doing a review on, if you have a problem with them, use your own platform to air your grievances and to be upset and cry about it. I would invite you to just use your own platform. Mine is not the place for it. I'm not going to delete your comments because ultimately you're the one that's making yourself look like a drama queen and a fool for gossiping about people on the comment section of somebody who's not even involved in any of that drama. So I would invite you to unfollow if you are unable to handle yourself like a mature adult. With that said, let's get into the video. All right, guys. So 99.9% of you guys are great. There has been a couple terrible wastes of human skin that have been coming into the comment section and just airing their BS. And like I said, they're the ones that look bad. Nobody else. So it is what it is, I guess. Comes with the territory. All right. So this one, we're going to do the second half of the bolt swap. And I'll tell you what, this dude is such a scumbag that when I was going to place this order, without him even knowing when this order was going to be getting placed, he completely wiped the total and was like, listen, these bolts are not my world. Like, obviously, they're his world. I mean, he produces these, they're amazing quality. He takes great pride in his work. But as some of you saw in my previous video, if you want to watch it, it's up here somewhere. I'll just post it so you know what I'm talking about. But I'm on some pretty expensive medications, chemo meds, stuff along those lines. He found out about this and was like, focus on your health, focus on the money you need for that. Don't worry about the cost on these. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but like you guys saw in the first video, it was completely unbiased. I had nothing to gain. I paid full price for those. I had absolutely nothing to gain from lying about it or anything like that. But people sit there and say how big of a scumbag this dude is. I'm sorry, but a scumbag would not do that when he does not know me very well. He would not send me hundreds of dollars worth of product if he wasn't a decent guy that values people over product. So I appreciate it. It's definitely not something he needed to do, but he went and did it against my against me saying, please don't worry about doing that. Please don't do that. He did it anyway. So, yeah, shout out to him, because obviously people want me to just take their word on this dude, on how bad he sucks and this and that. And I'm supposed to just disregard the craftsmanship and the quality of this stuff. I'm supposed to just disregard it because there's a couple people, a couple trolls in the comments saying that these products are inferior because they have a personal beef with the dude based off of somebody else's beef that's not even their beef. Like, get real. Grow up. Please grow up. You are too old to be doing such foolish things in somebody's comments. Like, when I'm not even involved. Like, I'm not even involved in your shit, and you're trying to drag everybody into your lunacy. Like, just grow up, please. You're making yourself look foolish. All right, back to it. Now I've gone off another tangent. So we got our rocker box rings, washers, derby cover washers. With my derby cover, it's got recessed bolts, so I don't know if these will work, but the ARP bolts will definitely work in there, unless I want to put my stock cover back on, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. We got our lifter blocks rings, cam cover washers. We got our caps for our handlebars, for our reservoirs up here. We got some super awesome looking, really good quality ARP bolts for those guys up there. We got our timing cover screws, or timing cover bolts. And this is pretty dope. He threw in this socket, this 3/16 socket for it's for specifically for 12-point shallow heads, which was pretty awesome surprise. So appreciate that. It's a nice little bonus, man. That's cool. I'm gonna put that to use when I'm installing these. So thank you. And then we got our controls kit, and it looks like these are packaged together just so you make sure you don't get them mixed up. So make sure you keep these together. So that's going to be for our controls kit. And then we got our cam cover bolts here. And then we got 0.5 milled derby lifter blocks, bolts, and then our rocker box bolts. So one thing we're absolutely gonna have to do is get our seat off, take our tank off, and probably gonna have to take our head pipe off to access our cam chest bolts, all of them. So that's gonna suck, taking that head pipe off. It's a giant, for my system anyways. If I had like a 2-into-1 system, it'd be a cakewalk, you know, just remove your head pipe and boom, you're done. But mine's a 2-into-1 into 2, so I got that crossover and clamps and all sorts of extra steps that I got to take just to loosen my head pipe and get it out of the way. So I'm hoping I'll be able to reach the majority of those bolts without having to remove the head pipe. Or I shouldn't say the majority, but all the bolts without having to remove the head pipe. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna get this done. I don't know if I'm gonna do as in-depth of a install as I did on the other video. If you want to see the best way of putting these on, check out this video here. That was pretty much the first video we did where I went every bolt pretty much. I showed you the best way of doing it. Just take one bolt out and then replace it with your replacement ARP bolts. That way you're not taking a whole, cover off or a whole panel off or whatever, and then messing up your gaskets and then having to replace the gaskets because they peeled away from the mating surface or from the case or anything like that. So just take one bolt out, replace it, one bolt out, replace it, so on and so forth. So I'll probably just do like quick little updates of when we start one section and then when we finish, show the progress there and then move on to the next instead of doing each bolt one at a time. So first thing I got to do, like I said, is get our fuel tank removed, get our seats off so we can access our rocker box covers. All right, roll the intro. Let's get this project going. Tank's off. Now we have full access to our rocker box bolts. Make it easier. And we can get everything cleaned up, get a cleaner to that. It gets real dusty where I live. So just get all that cleaned up, and then that gives us access to all of our rocker bolts to change out with the new ones. So that'll be the first thing to do, is the rocker box bolts. And yeah, those I believe are going to be 7/16 for the rocker box bolts. And like I said, we just take one out, put the new one in, take one out, put the new one in. And then for every one we take out, it'll get a washer and then a new ARP bolt. Make sure you're wiping all these crevices out while you have that exposed, so you can get those areas nice and clean, because how often do you really remove those rocker box top bolts? You know what I'm saying? So we'll get those removed, wiped out, new one in, so on, so forth, and we'll go from there. All right, we got one out, starting to thread the new one. So we'll hit it with the impact, and then check it with the Torx their Torx wrench. And it's just that easy. And that's it. You just take one out, put one in, take one out, put one in, just like that. Easy as pie. The reason I'm doing it like this, taking one at a time, taking one out, putting a new one in, checking the Torx on it, is because when you put these rocker boxes on, you're supposed to go in a pattern, right? You're supposed to go in a specific pattern to tighten these down. Well, if we're only taking one out at a time, it's not going to mess up that pattern like if you were putting this on without any bolts and then having to re-torque everything in that pattern. So if we're taking one out and immediately replacing it, I don't think we really have to worry about the pattern because it's already tightened down. All right, I'm gonna finish getting the rest of these on. Take one out, hit it with the impact. One out, set that off to the side, take our rag, wipe it out, get all that junk out, clean that surface, Grab a new bolt, an ARP, oh, and a washer. Start it by hand. Torque it down. And then we'll check it with our torque wrench to make sure. But so far, God, I mean, just those little changes. I mean, side by side, what looks better, honestly? Those big, clunky, ugly hex head bolts that oxidize and leave a bunch of crap everywhere, or these nice, clean billet aluminum heads with a nice red ring. If you say the first thing, we're gonna know you're high. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish up the rocker box bolts, and then I'll show you when it's done. So while we're on this side of things, I'm gonna get this timing cover off so we can do the timing cover bolts. There's just 2 of them. Doesn't take much for these. Just enough to get it tight. The tiniest of bolts, and they're still very well made. Let me zoom you in so you can see the cut on these. Yeah, these things are so tiny. Those bolts are so small. Nice defined cuts. That's top quality machining 101 right there, guys. For how small those are, and those cuts are nice and clean. Get out of here. All the haters saying, inferior product. Your inferior product, sir. All right, you hooligans. Got most of the rocker box cover bolts on. See the one in the middle, outside ones. So, while I'm on this side, we'll do the derby cover, just like any other time you take your derby cover off to change it or service the primary fluid. It's going to be the same process. All right, got the first bolt out. Let's get the ARP in. Yeah, I know my hand's in the way. Calm down, give me a sec. Boom. Look how much better that looks. ARP, stock. ARP, stock. ARP is definitely better. And it's gonna hold better overall. Just better. Boom. Got them on. So much better. It's the subtle things, right? It's the very subtle things that only we notice that make the difference. Ain't nobody gonna notice. Nobody's gonna come up and be like, holy shit, you got ARP bolts on your derby cover? But I'll know they're there, and that's all that matters. You know, and I know that you did it right, and I did it right. And to hell with what anybody else has to say on the matter. All right, derby cover's down. Finish the rocker box. And then we'll be done with that. And then the dreaded cam chest cover. Everyone's favorite part. This is not going to be any different than how we've done every other one. Impact drill. Slowly with a 3/16 bit. Searchlights. Just like that. And we're gonna do that same thing 8 more times. And once that's done, I'll show you the final result. I doubt you want to sit here and watch me do that exact same thing 8 more times. So we'll be back in a jiff. All right, guys, home stretch. First up, gonna be removing our air breather. Get this out of the way so we have more room to wrench on our lifter block covers. These here. Just gonna take one out as we've done before, replace it, all that jazz. Some of these are kind of a pain to get to. That's why we need that extra space. So yeah, I'm gonna be removing the breather or filter so we can get to those. And then lastly, the controls on the handlebars. So we got the tappet covers on, or excuse me, we got the bolts for the lifter blocks. We got those on. I did have to leave this one in the back off because it was hard to access. Like some of you know, my wrists don't bend. So getting that out and then a new replacement in, that's gonna have to wait until I can go see my buddy at his shop that has a specialized tool to reach that back one. But overall, they look really, really good. Really livens up that engine bay right there. And then we got all our ones up on the rocker box covers, which also look really, really good. And then the other side has been done as well. So we're finally finished with the motor. And now we just got to move on to the reservoir bolts, our perch mount clamp hardware. But before we do that, I'm gonna get my tank and seat put back on. I've just been given this a wipe down, cleaned up, because hardly ever is it fully exposed. So I've just been cleaning all that up. I would suggest you guys do the same. You'd be amazed at how much dirt and debris and crap gets in that area. So while that's all opened up, just give it a wipe down once over. Make sure all your bolts and everything are tight, torque to spec. And if you're wondering about torque specs for all these bolts, check your owner's manual. Might be different based off of which bike you have. If you have an MA, an Evo, twin cam, whatever, it could be different for you. For me, just check your manual or check online. You can find it pretty easily online. If you just check online, should be able to find it fairly simple. So once we're done with all these up here, I will do a full review or a full breakdown of everything we've done with the bolt swap from front to back. I also just saw that he released today foot control ARP kits too for these guys down here. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, I'm gonna get these half perch clamp mounts done, get the hardware on there, and then I'll show you how it looks. So we got one side down on our controls, perch clamps. You tell me which looks better. The red with the nice ARP bolts, or that chipped away, poopy, stripped out looking bolts, or that. Pretty big difference when you compare the two side to side. Boom. Got it all done. Looking sharp. Looks good. Sharp, sharp, sharp. You guys want a reliable kit, you know where to go. Halespeed. Not a single bolt got snagged up, hung up, stripped, nothing. No problems with the install. The only issues I had was a couple of the heads stripping on the Harley bolts coming out on the lifter blocks. But other than that, the install of the new ones, of the ARP bolts, the kilo kit, was all solid. And damn, did it turn out good. Whole new hardware for Lilith. You guys can't hear what she's saying to me, but she's saying, thanks for the new reinforced hardware and the new jewelry. Looking good. Knocked it out of the park, dude. Good job. Digging it. Lifter blocks all looking savage. Cam chest. Transmission. Transmission top cover. Just boom, all around. Just really, really nice. Killed it, brother. Killed it. Did a good job. Now let's see if she sounds different now. Maybe she sounds faster. Sounds meaner. Let's get her off of her trusty brick. Give the old girl a start. I need some damn fuel. Tell you that. All right, guys, so we are done. Solid kit all around. The primary side, the engine side, solid. Like, I honestly don't have any negative things to say on this kit. Is it the cheapest one available? No. But it is one of the best, if not the best, kit available. As far as consistency goes, the level of craftsmanship, the attention to detail, not a single bolt, not a single washer was wrong, was missing, was nicked up, nothing like that. The consistency on this was at the highest level. You know, talk is talk and talk is cheap. And I like to let products speak for themselves. And these products definitely speak for themselves. They have surpassed any expectations that I had, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, it is a little bit of work to replace all these bolts and to retorque everything and make sure everything's where it should be. But when the guesswork is taken out of the equation for you, it streamlines the process a lot easier, makes things a lot smoother and a lot faster. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there might be people butthurt over something else totally unrelatable to any of this, but at the end of the day, it's the product that matters, because that's why we're here. And if you have something to say about a company that I'm doing a review for, or something that I've purchased, that I'm talking about, and if you have a personal issue with that company, take it up with that company, please. Like, this is a place to come and learn and engage with each other in a civil, mature, adult fashion. And quite frankly, you're just wasting my time and the time of other people if I have to take the time out to respond to absurd comments to some of the people that have stopped by on the previous video. So you're taking away the time to actually engage with people that want to learn, that want to find a good product. That's all you're doing, and you're making yourself look like a fool in the process by doing that. So anyway, Halespeed, you killed it, dude. You did an amazing job. I commend you. You did, honestly, a really, really good job with this kit, and it shows, and the performance shows as well. So like I said, I got to give this, a 10 out of 10 for it hits all the boxes. It hits consistency, it hits craftsmanship, it hits attention to detail, it hits looks, it hits ease of install. Honestly, like the only partially negative thing I could say that people might find off-putting is the price. But at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And this dude is turning these bolts out by hand, making sure they are perfect for your motorcycle. I mean, yeah, if you wanted to outsource them to another company that's mass producing them out of another country, then he could probably do that, charge maybe a little bit less, make more money probably, because not a whole lot of his time's going into it at that point. He's doing this on his own. Maybe there's one or two other people involved, I don't know, but very small operation, cranking these bolts out by hand and doing a fantastic job at it. So I recognize that in the product, and it speaks for itself. So, and if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. Nobody is forcing you to buy it. I'm not forcing you to entertain the idea. I'm just here to give you guys an honest and unbiased opinion and review. And I put in the work. I put in the couple days that it took my crippled ass to come out and take all these bolts out and put them in. It's physically demanding for me because I have zero energy whatsoever for a lot of the day. So hopefully some of you guys found some value in this. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, click the bell so you get notified when we drop new material and when we go live. So yeah, finally she's done. She's looking good. I really don't know what else can be done to this bike at this point, you guys. This thing is completely maxed out all the way to the damn bolts at this point. So, yep. So from Lilith and I, signing out. Until next time, much love from Utah. Take care of yourselves, and you take care of each other. And just let the bullshit slide off your back, guys. Life's too short to waste it on other people's business. If you're not directly involved, why are you getting yourself involved? Life's too short to be bent out of shape all the time. Take it from somebody who's actively dying. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.